ANN News Brief.
I'm Lucy Ademi. South Africa has continued to report a decline in coronavirus cases. The country has now dropped to 7th from 5th position it held for months among countries with the highest number of COVID-19 cases globally. Official data show new cases continue to reduce. The country has dropped 2 places in a span of 1 week after being overtaken by Peru, Colombia's neighbors, early last week. South Africa has reported a total of 639,000 cases and a death toll of more than 15,000. Health Minister Zweli Mkhize says although the numbers are reducing, the country is not over yet, fearing that there could be a second wave. Mkhize told state broadcaster SABC on Monday South Africans need to continue with containment measures in order to prevent a second wave. The U.S., India, Brazil, Russia, Peru and Colombia are the top 6 nations in confirmed cases. The United Nations World Food Programme says Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia and Zimbabwe are at risk of a looming hunger. International institutions are warning that up to 50 million persons are in danger of a growing food crisis in southern Africa. The region is also said to be facing economic hardship stemming from the restrictions imposed to contain coronavirus. Agencies have increased food procurement in an effort to prevent a humanitarian catastrophe. In 2019, the area was hit by a devastating drought and has been ravaged this year by a locust infestation that has spread south across the continent. Meanwhile, there is report that Uganda food prices have collapsed in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Farmers in the country have produced a bomber harvest, but disruption of transport and reduced demand for their crops have led to a collapse in food prices. A regional Somali government official says 3 soldiers in the Somali Special Forces have been killed and the U.S. officer seriously wounded in a car bomb on Monday outside the forces base in the country's south. Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the attack and put the number of dead at 20. Al-Shabaab said it had killed U.S. personnel. A Somali soldier was also wounded in the attack in Jana Kabdale village, some 60 kilometers from the port city of Kismayu, which is also Jubaland region's capital, after the suicide car bomb had exploded outside the Special Forces base. U.S. Africa Command spokesman Air Force Colonel Christopher Cairns said the U.S. soldier was in stable condition. Cairns said in a statement the U.S. military had assessed that at least 1 Al-Shabaab fighter was also killed during the attack that involved mortar fire. The government and Al-Shabaab often give conflicting casualty numbers. The militants said they had killed 4 U.S. officers and 16 Somali forces. Al-Shabaab also said it had wounded 12 Somali soldiers and destroyed 3 U.S. armored vehicles. Al-Shabaab has been fighting to topple Somalia's central government since 2008 to establish its own rule based on its own harsh interpretation of Islam's Sharia law. That is ANN News Brief at 1. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I am Lucy Ademi.